Yes,
So,
can you put your question now?
yeah, the my question is that uh, I got I got a thought which defines a laksh for me to live in this world, in this life. Like while learning with you or doing meditation, I have understood that it is the ahankar part that we need to service, to add in better thoughts in our mind to lead a better life. So whole life we are only working for our material pleasure. We want to get a good school, good college, good wife, good kids, eat good things, drink good things, but we don't know why we are living. So once the thought is that if I know that this is how I can really proceed well in life, then this should become my laksh, or the aim to live in this life, and then to attain the best benefit of this life, because I'm aware. I mean, I keep doing meditation by remaining healthy and living longer. And then, I mean, this also, I have got a firm belief now that this set of mind and indriyas and jeev and atma is one which is final for me. The day this body is old, this set will leave and attain another body, and then another body would give me chance again, if I recollect few things that I have already done in my past lives. So to have better lives and finally reach that peace or whatever moksha, if I'm aware that this is the way, if I'm convinced, my mind, what I'm trying to say is my mind has perceived, or it's so convinced as of now that this is the only thing, that if I carry on doing this, I'm going to get moksha. If not in this life, maybe after hundreds or 200, whatever, because then I know which part of my mind I have to attack and purify it.
Very good, very good. There are certain issues in, uh, mixed up. They are contained in this particular question. First is there is an inquiry about how to improve the quality of life, so to say, because we generally see that a common layperson is focused on sensual pleasures, and for that he gathers all sorts of objects of pleasures which he identifies with as that can meet his requirement of sensual pleasures. But then within the question there is an inquiry about some higher objective. Of course, the bottom line is pleasures of life, but a mature person knows that what is my present object of pleasure, 5 years later, I may not look at it as an object of pleasure. Like what we derived pleasure from in our childhood, today we are not so excited with those things anymore. So things change with time. So the question is very pertinent, that what is the lasting pleasure that I should get to? And if there is such a thing, how to get to it? And then what is the role of my mind in that? And implicitly, there is an idea that the present life is not an start and end event, as if it is a part and parcel of a long journey. In other words, birth and death is cyclic. And yes, today I am on this journey at a particular segment, but I want to ensure that I am going forward in the right direction so that my next life is better off. And when we think of that in the sense of continuity of life, then what goes with me is there is some container. That vessel is called as mind, and within the vessel certain things I brought from past life, and I am now adding to it. And of course, some things are getting out of it also. But more important is what am I adding into that vessel, and what I will be carrying forward in the next life. So the concern here is overall life as a journey. And finally, I want to ensure it is on the positive course so as to improve the quality of life in the present life as well as in future. And what is the role of meditation in this process? So these are the issues which we are concerned with. So let's take it one by one. Probably one is the Vedic concept of mind, where mind is distinct in the sense it is an aggregate, but still it has three divisions. So closest to me, I am always watching a screen, so to say. Like at this point, I am watching a laptop screen, but in reality, somewhere here, there is a tiny space where I am watching a screen, you know, and that screen is given a name. So Sanskrit term is buddhi. It is just to ensure we are on the same page because these terms are used vaguely by also, but we want to ensure we have a proper meaning. So this is me, say, in the thumb, this fist, and then I am watching a screen. That is my buddhi, so to say. In English, we translate that as intellect, which is nothing wrong because this is our discriminatory ability. And this is what is displaying something. And if it is displayed here, I have to know it. I cannot get away from it. So, I can say somebody, I saw you, but I didn't quite notice it. Or I heard you, but I was not listening to you. But here, if something appears, then I have known it. I know it now very well. Now, the next unit here is the name is Ahankar. That is kind of storage device. So here, all the real-time data is coming through five sensory organs are displayed here. And my power is ability to know, experience, and act. So that is called a Jnana, Bhog, and Karma. So this is known, and now I'm not going into technicality of it. When does it become Bhog? It is becoming Bhog when I embrace it, so to say. And I just give you a short hint. Sometimes you watch a TV in a detached manner, but sometimes your tears flow down because you get so much attached to what is being shown on the TV. So when you are observing from a distance, it is knowledge. But when you get so much close to it, as if you are participating in that event, then it becomes your bhog, experience. So if you are detached, it is just like an event for you. You know it, but it is not affecting you as pleasure or pain now. So these are some technicalities. And then here you take a decision. Normally, we take a decision to increase our level of joy, pleasure, and happiness, what is called sukha, and diminish our dukh, so to say. And for that, I make an effort, I take an action. So I take a decision here at Buddhi, and then that command is going outward. So knowledge is incoming, Bhog is experience is when I embrace it as if it is happening to me. That is out of my choice. And karma action is now I decide either to get away from dukh or to get sukh or to go in this particular direction of life, moksha also. So all those decisions are taken here, then they're implemented. Like you decide to attend this class, this session. So we are not always going in the direction of sukh and dukh. Sometimes we are guided by the direction of positivity, so to say. Let's call it that way for a while. That is the direction of yoga. That is the direction of moksha. That is direction of upward, etc. But in be. But then a layperson will ask, who has seen the next life? I am smart. I want to maximize my sukh of the present life, you know, because he has no evidence for next life. And he's not very excited with that idea. He wants his present life to be better. Now, Patanjali or Kapil or those rishis, they will tell us that, this is Kapil's statement, kuto api sukham, means who is the person in this world who is happy enough. So everybody for years, 50 years, 60, 80 years have been trying to uh, adopt a particular strategy to maximize sukh and minimize dukh, but nobody has proved to be the smartest person in the world because dukh is always striking us one way or another. And as you have mentioned, that if nothing else, our age will overtake us, and in old age, we know it, there will be a lot of pain and suffering, is it not? So nobody can guarantee I will never be on wheelchair. I will never be in a hospital bed. You never know what may happen tomorrow. So we have to be very modest. Yes, everybody is smart, trying to take good, right decisions, but nobody has been able to say that I have been successful, that I kept all the dukh at bay and I have just only joy and pleasures have come to my life. Nobody in the world can claim like that. So even this layperson who has no interest in moksha, he will be, or if I were to tell him a right strategy of life, I will say, or that's what is the language of Kapil and Patanjali. They will say, okay, you are not interested in moksha, no problem. But I tell you, if you adopt the path of moksha, that is a good strategy even for the present life. So you may not be interested in moksha, but you follow what Patanjali is saying, the path of yoga or upwork or moksha. Forget about moksha, but that path itself takes care of the present life also. So it is a comprehensive package or strategy that takes care of the present life as well as future life, if there is a future life. So that is like in Vaisheshik says, Abhyuda and Nishayas. Yato Abhyuda Nishaya Siddhi Sadharma. So Vedic rishis were smart. They said that our strategy has twofold advantage. It takes care of Abhyuda, the present life, as well as future life thereafter, whatever it is. We don't know it. But that if I have made a quantum jump, then I get moksha also. So they say that it takes care of all that. Okay, then that is the word you have also used, Anand. So they will come up with an idea that there is something which is neither sukh nor dukh, but is so good, because they say that sukh and dukh is actually a state of your mind. So let me complete that three parts of the mind now. So first part was buddhi. The second part is behind it, that is called ahankar, where all the previous data. So when I said I have ability of jnana, bhog and karma, knowledge, experience and action. So whatever I have had, I have gone through in the past knowledge, past experience, and past actions, which we do or definitely have somewhere in our mind, is it not? That is all contained in the second unit of Ahankar. So whenever I want to achieve, I want to recollect the past knowledge. It comes from here and is displayed on Buddhi. So that is how they work in conjunction. Now the third unit is called as Manas. That is gathering the real-time data from five senses. So when I am in knowledge mode, senses are sending in data signals. They are copied here by Ahankar in routine manner, and then they are displayed here on Buddhi. And in the outgoing action, when I have taken a decision here, then again, the related decisions in the past, they also, join hands together. Like I say, I want to drive a car, go to a grocery store. This is decision is taken here. Then I pick up my car key, I enter into my car, I start something. But suppose it is a long distance, maybe, 100 kilometers, some not grocery store, some other place. Once I am on a highway, on a lane, middle lane where nothing, not much in and out will take place, then I take a phone and start talking to my friend. Now it is a monotonous driving for about 80, 100 kilometers, you know. So I say that I can talk to a friend and save my time and discuss some issues with him. Now in that conversation, my buddhi is participating in discussion. Now who is driving the car? Now that ahankar is driving the car because so many years you have practiced driving and on a clear highway, you are very confident that it's a neat and clean go and you let ahankar drive it and your buddhi is in discussion mode. What I am trying to say is in action mode, you take a decision here, you initiate the action here. Buddhi decide I will drive the car. Until you reach into the highway, buddhi is participating in the highway. But once you are on the super highway, now you delegate it to ahankar and let ahankar drive. So there is a lot of, it's not that simple, but I am trying to be brief and explain to you the way things work. Now that manas is doing, ahankar has all the subroutines and programs how you drive a car, and that takes care of it. And Manas has the activates the five motor organs, hands and feet and speech, etc. So all that is happening. So these are our three units: Buddhi, Ahankar, and Manas. Manas is kind of a supervisor for five sensory organs and five motor organs when you want to be in business of the world in the real time mode. Now coming back to getting the more pleasures of life and all that, our Vedic rishis got struck by an event that is called Sushupti, deep dreamless sleep. And they felt within 24 hours that is a fantastic event when no pain can strike me. That is the beauty of Sushupti. You feel no pain. You may not admit it, it was pleasant, but still, when you come out of it, you have a feeling. If you came out of it naturally, it was wonderful. But what was it? Nobody can describe it because you were kind of in a blackout. You were just transported out of the world and you were disconnect from the world. Actually, you were disconnect from your mind. And to tell the truth, actually, your world is nothing but your mind. So your mind, like all my data, all my books are on my laptop. So I will say my whole library is in my laptop. But in reality, the whole world is in my mind in the sense it that only connects me to the world and all the past things are stored in my ahankar. So everything is in my mind. Now, when I am disconnect from my mind, it's as good as I am disconnect from the world, is it not? So that's what is happening. And nothing is happening in my mind, no dreams, etc. So Vedic rishis came up with an idea. That's what makes the strategy that let's in the daytime practice and bring our mind calm and empty like it happens in Sushupti, in deep, dreamless sleep. And that is not that easy. So, but if I am, and there is a prescription, say from Patanjali, how to do it, 8 steps, this and that, and all, we start practicing. But as we practice it, we realize that it's not that easy. But if you are, if you have some patience, you hold on to it. You are saying, as I am practicing it, 5 years, 10 years, my overall quality of life is now better than when I started off 10 years ago, is it not? So you say, okay, that's what you mentioned. that next morning, what gets me going? I want to meditate, is it not? So somebody makes an objective, lakshya, you know, what is my life objective? So you say that, okay, if this is the prescribed path I follow, and then they say, if you go up to the end of it, you will get moksha. Okay, somebody says, don't care about moksha. Who has seen it? I don't even believe in it. Okay, don't believe in it. We are not asking you have to believe in it. But you do it for a while and see it, and then you will see that, yes, this path, this journey on this path is just improving my quality of life. Okay, so Patanjali cannot be dead wrong. Okay, let me not accept his concept of moksha, but let me pursue it, the journey on this path, and that also is good enough. So, that's where the word anand comes in. That when your mind is blank, now you are neither in sukh nor in dukh, because sukh and dukh is some sort of thing happening, state of mind. If this state is to you, that's why it is subjective. Okay, if you like it, it is you and Sukh. If you don't like it, it is your Dukh now. But you will be, if you are always, if you want to spend years of your life improving the quality of life, just bringing the all sorts of fluctuations in your mind, you will never get to any result. So a sensible approach is to have a higher objective in life, and where the guidance is coming from Sushupti, which is a real-time event. Somebody may deny about moksha, but nobody in the world will deny about Sushupti, deep, dreamless sleep. So that is our starting point, and we just want to realize that same state. In the daytime, when I am alert, I don't lie down, I am in sitting posture, and just like it happens in the sleep when you go to bed, you may desire sushupti, but it may not happen, is it not? Once in a while, you may get deep, dreamless sleep, but most of the occasions, you wake up after a dream, is it not? So it is not in your hand. You may desire it as much as you want, but it is a gift by somebody else. The same thing happens with meditation. We say that you just stuck with, mental recitation of Om. Now, will it end up with samadhi or not? That is not in your purview. Just like Sushupti is not in your purview. Somebody gives you that gift once in a while. And if your quality of life is going really good, that is a good barometer. So, out of a week, say you had just one night with Sushupti, now that you are a meditation practitioner, then maybe now there are 3 or 4 nights in a week you experience Sushupti, is it not? So Sushupti and Samadhi will go hand in hand. So you have to learn from Sushupti and be determined. No, it is my mind. I am the owner of my mind. Why can I not bring it to that state? Just like I am owner of my car, I can stop it whenever I want it and park it at a right designated place. In the same manner, I should be able to bring my mind calm. So when I accept this as this is my lakshya, this is my objective to bring my mind calm. And now the third part of your question was, this content in my mind, ahankar, how can I change over? So of course, when you are going on the path of yoga, now there are new things getting added into your mind, is it not? New ideas. You are changing. It's a dynamic process. So it is never to be said that your ahankar has full of rubbish. It has all the nice things also from the past life, from the present life. And now because you are on the journey, you are very much concerned what enters into your mind. Now you don't take interest in gossips. You don't take interest in low quality literature, low quality filthy programs. You don't visit pubs and that long. You are slightly concerned what enters into your mind, is it not? So that way, You have exercised your anti points, you are the owner of your mind. And not only that, the higher order things happen that is called Yogagni or Prasankhyana Agni or Vivek Khyati Agni, means a fire gets, there is a so called fire when you are practicing meditation. And in that fire, the previous rubbish gets burned. So, what Patanjali or Kapil is saying, that you have the power to decide what gets added into your mind, which is, of course, only nice, positive things. But the unwanted things that unknowingly have entered, or you have been somehow carrying forward from past life, they can also be burnt, like in an incinerator, you burn the rubbish. So the mechanism here is the meditation process. So in that meditation process, you will realize, because that rubbish is defined as what causes vyuthan, the five states of chitta, kshipta, mood, vikshipta, then ekagya and niruddha. So this is the journey to the yoga. You want yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta should be subdued thoroughly. These three states are called as vyuthan. So something happens, some thing is always happening in my mind, even as I am in sleep. Some dreams pop out. So something. This whole thing is called vyuthan. So as long as rubbish is there, that gives rise to vyuthan. Because we have only earned it, we have only gathered it. So naturally we have to go through that suffering, that consequences. But when I practice, go to these one pointedness and subdued state of mind, then that is also gradually burnt out. And finally, the moksha is when everything gets burned out, even the good seeds are burned out, because now you don't want anything to take birth here. So they are called a seed here because they are underneath the buddhi and they give rise to something, birth of some plants. Plants gives rise to fruits which you eat. So they have many metaphors to explain all this. So they are called as seeds. And then when seed is burnt out, it becomes important. Then there will be no next life. So it is moksha also. But if somebody says, I don't care what moksha is, then we are trying to convince him, at least you believe in Sushupti. So just why don't you create a replica of Sushupti? As simple as that. And just if you have your own ideas how to control your mind, or what in modern jargon we are saying rewire your mind, you go to a psychotherapist. Okay, he will help you some rethinking and all that. But otherwise, you know, if you don't have any other approach, Patanjali's approach is good enough to try. So that also gives results. So, these broadly we have discussed the whole nature of our mind, the experience in terms of sukha and dukh, and human life is, of course, different from all other animals, etc., because we are not programmed. We can try out many things, you know. Maybe they also get sushupti, but they are not going to be get interested in samadhi. So we are one level above them, that our life is dynamic. We can try out new ideas, new things. So we try to find a replica of Sushupti, and that happens to be taking all the way to Moksha Marg. But if somebody is not there, so the word Anand comes in when I am in blank mind, but I am not in Sushupti. I am in alert mode. I am preserving self awareness. I am not out of the world now. I am in the world, but untouched by the world, so to say. I am very much in the world. So Samadhi is slightly different from Sushupti, where now when I emerge out of Samadhi, now somebody asks me, was it Sukh? Then you say, yes, it was good, but I won't call it as Sukh. Then they just give it a new name, Anand, you know. because Sukh has a negative counterpart, and in that particular state, no negativity is possible. It is always a pleasant state. So they coined another term for that, Anand, because so Sukh and Dukh is a duality because of the mind-related phenomenon. So very good question, and it takes into account all the comprehensive package that we have in Sankhya and Yoga. Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
other question? We have 10 minutes or so.
So basically, whatever I'm thinking, I'm on right path. I mean, is the right way to think and lead this life knowingly all the benefits, if not in this life, the next life. The first thing, because I'm convinced, I know this will help. So it is always good to live with a motive in mind. Otherwise, just getting up in the morning and sleeping in the night and waiting to get old and then get your pension and then sit at home, I mean, it's much better than at least.
Yeah,
So
sure.
this all seems all right.
Sure, this is a right thing. I think I don't depend it, at least. What else can I say? But after all, at the end of the day, we are all subjective. Who can say, I know the absolute truth, you
Yeah.
know? But so far, so good. What else can I say?
Yeah. Thank you. No, I've been feeling so good for last 2 3 days in my meditation as well, and even like today, I was, every day when I sit, I tell my mind, okay, calm down, you'll get this and this, and when I explain inside in my, I mean, to my mind, if you just, without you, I cannot get any knowledge, but you leaving just for 30 minutes, we will get so much of a package that even the mind, everyone will enjoy. So, it all looks in connivance that he started understanding. Yes, let's relax for 20 minutes or half an hour of, for a bigger package of Anand. And that, that makes meditation so easy and convenient.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good thing nowadays. There is a awareness, but sometimes quantitative progress comes at a cost of quality. I don't want to criticize anything, but I still would like to make a point. Like by the term yoga, it is mostly Hatha yoga that prevails in the world,
Yeah.
and meditation. Actually, meditation is taught to us by Patanjali in his book Yoga Darshan. Now that term yoga has been is floating around in the world as Hatha yoga. And when it comes to meditation, uh, what is now prevailing more in the world is so called mindfulness. Mindfulness is what is that one pointed state, ekagya avastha, when mind is filled with one and one, only one thing, which is, of course, is a good state. But if mindfulness is your objective, then you never get to the niruddha avastha, the empty and blank mind. So that is another point of concern because Patanjali is not much known and his teachings are not known. Firstly, because he is teacher of Yoga Darshan, but the term yoga has gone into the world as Hatha Yoga. So there is no yoga, it's only Hatha Yoga. So Patanjali is irrelevant. Now, actually, Patanjali Yoga is meditation, but meditation is gaining its currency in the name of mindfulness. So that is also Patanjali is no present anywhere. But mindfulness meditation is a subset of the Patanjali's full yoga meditation package. It is a subset. Beyond that, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So mindfulness is slightly like Sampajñat Yoga, but then there is some more things are there. So it is just slightly unfortunate thing that all this is due to Kapil and Patanjali, but they are absent in today's world. you know. So yoga has been taken away by Hatha Yoga. Meditation doesn't mention Patanjali and is confined to mindfulness. So these are some of my concerns that we want to bring in authentic teachings of Kapil and Patanjali and its totality, authentic and comprehensive package. So I think we have an important role to play. But sure, Patanjali and Kapil have been sidelined by both the communities of yoga as well as meditation. So that is a point of concern. So we have to work in that direction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Acharya ji, mindfulness and awareness are they same or they are different?
Uh, it depends how do you look at it. Mindfulness is something is being depicted on this screen and you are aware of it. You know, you are always automatically aware once something appears here. Vyas calls it as buddhi pati samvedi. So this is buddhi, and this unit, what is called purush or atma tattva, that me, he is pati samvedi. What appears here is automatically will be known by this. Now mindfulness means this is there. Now it is not flickering. It is one image is stationary, which is a very good thing. The practitioner has come here a long way. Like in my meditation class, we say mental recitation of Om, that should gain uniformity. Then when it gains uniformity, it, it doesn't disappear and nothing else takes its place. That is called as dhyan. So mindfulness is like dhyan, pratyaya ekatanta dhyanam. So uniformity of a pratyaya. Pratyaya is what you have superimposed over it. This mental recitation is not coming from your ears. This is you have superimposed on this screen that I want to see this and only this thing here. You know. Now that is called as dhyan. Now when this disappears, this becomes blank, then it is the next stage, you know. That is what I desire in Patanjali Yoga, this practice. Even this should go away, you know. So that is called a Niruddhavastha. Now mind is absolutely blank now. Mindfulness is very good because dhyan is also a good progress. But what I am trying to say, it is not the comprehensive package. Comprehensive package of Sankhya and Yoga Darshan is Niruddhavastha, the fifth stage where this is blank now, you know. Now when it is blank, you know, then you are still there. This is now blank. There is nothing here to be seen and observed. But now what happens? That is our concept. There is another Purush, who we call him Purush Vishesh, Ishwar. So he is Sachidanand, so Ananda Swarup. So now you are with him now. Otherwise you were here, you know. Now when you are with him, then you get a taste of that Anand, you know. So that is awareness is there, but you are not aware of what's happening in your mind because now mind is blank, you know.
Thoughtless
So in
awareness.
mindfulness, you are aware of what is depicted on your buddhi, but in the next stage, you have your own awareness and that taste of Anand, but you are not, there is nothing to be aware of from the mind now. Mind is blank, you know. So awareness is in both states, you know. In mindfulness, you are aware of what is depicted on your buddhi. In the next stage, which I coin a term, mindlessness, you know, not a very good term, but just to emphasize that I wish to disconnect from mind. And in order to disconnect, it must be blank, you know. So when it is blank, then I am disconnect from mind. I call it mindlessness now. And now in that, you have awareness of your own self and of your being with him, So that's it. These are slightly tricky issues. A layperson will not understand easily. But once you get on this meditation practice, when you are struggling, you are struggling even to being your desired image here, that also goes away. You are, so then you realize what all this game is about, and you feel you are helpless. You want some assistance, something from Patanjali's guidance, etc., etc. Then you appreciate it. Well, this probably is very difficult exercise, but yes, I am struggling. Even up to this point has brought me some benefit now. At least I feel in day-to-day life I am owner of my mind, and my mind doesn't take me here and there anymore. So there are certain benchmarks in your day-to-day life, and you begin to feel, yes, I am better off than before I got into all this thing. And then you say, maybe Patanjali is right. Even if he is right up to this point, maybe, he is right about the next few things also. So that is what Vyas is commenting at one point, that Sampajyat Yoga comes in between just to let us know that we have the right milestones so as to get some sort of confidence that Patanjali must be right what he's talking next about. So these are, and that is what is called Shraddha. Shraddha is a compound word, Shrat and Dha. Shrat is Shrat is not Satya. Shrat is like Satya, but it has been told to me by somebody. I have not verified it yet. But just I have to trust it that this is Patanjali is telling me. Let me Dha is I hold it, I acquire it. you know. So like in the today's question, holding the, to acquire certain practices in day-to-day life. So what Patanjali is saying, let me accept it subject to verification. But if I don't accept it, then I don't accept his prescription at all, is it not?
Yeah, yeah.
So with satkaya sevito means it's positive attitude. I want to do practice with positive attitude. If you have doubts in your mind, you are skeptic, then your practice is also disturbed. So you are somewhere in between. That's where Shraddha comes into picture. Okay, I accept what Patanjali is saying, but it is his truth, not my truth. I have not yet verified it. But tentatively I accept it, and then I march on further. Then I will say, I have Shraddha about Patanjali. I have Shraddha with respect to Patanjali. And then something will happen at the end when I find it. I have followed his prescription. If I didn't notice the result, then I will say, Patanjali was making me a fool, he was wrong. And if I get those results, then I will say, now it is my truth as well. Otherwise, I have verified it. So his statement is Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna. So he's saying you start with Shraddha, then Virya is vigorous practice. Smriti, now as the question was, something from your previous life will also now aid it. Because you may have something in the previous life that has something to do with this journey. Now that will get added because now you are on a particular path. Now samadhi will happen and that will give you a new knowledge that is called prajna. So that is sampajnat yoga. So he's saying if you have shraddha, then that's next. If you say, I don't accept what Patanjali is saying, it sounds black magic, this and that, then you don't get going. So shraddha is not andhashraddha. It is a tentative thing, subject to be verification, validation. We are exceeding the time, but it was a very good session. Thank you
Thank you
all.
very much.
We'll meet again next week and
Thank
have
you,
a
sir.
good time. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste.